This is More Knowledge, More Wealth with your host, Gabriel Shahin. Gabriel is a certified financial planner and a registered investment advisor at Falcon Wealth Planning. This show does not intend to provide personalized investment advice through this broadcast and does not represent that the services or securities discussed are suitable for any investor. Investors are advised not to rely on any information contained in the broadcast in the process of making a full informed investment decision. More knowledge, more wealth on AM 590, The Answer. Now here's your host, Gabriel Shahin.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Gabriel Shahin, certified financial planner, and your host of More Knowledge, More Wealth here on every weekend, talking about all important topics of personal finance. Our goal is to give you the knowledge you need to increase your wealth. Now, to the listener, you can always reach out to myself or any one of our colleagues here at Falcon Wealth Planning. Our phone number is 855-963-2526. That's 855-96-FALCON, like the bird. Or visit our website at falconwealthplanning.com. That's falconwp.com for short. Now, I'm a principal of Falcon Wealth Planning. We are a fee-only financial planning firm that also manages money as well, but we really specialize in everything that involves the dollar sign, folks. That's where you are today, how retirement looks like, talking about taxes, investments, insurance, estate planning, folks. You name it, anything that involves a dollar sign, we can help. And if you want help relating this show to your specific situation, give us a call. We got offices all across the West Coast, and we help people all across the country. Our phone number is 855-963-2526. That's 855-96-FALCON, like the bird. We can help put together a personal assessment to answer the questions that you have, because things are ever changing in this environment right now. Things are happening on a daily basis that it's really hard to keep up. This could be with the political climate, with the law changes that are happening, with the international crisis that's going on, with invasions in Ukraine, with what's going on in China and Europe, and you name it, folks. There's always something going on. You have to think to yourself, no matter how smart you are, no matter how much you love current events, are you going to know everything that's going on? Are you going to be able to keep up with everything and manage your portfolio and make the changes necessary in your portfolio? Because here's the crazy part, and this is from the best financial gurus in the industry. These are the individuals on a daily basis with teams of people that bring people together and make trades and analyze stock and do the investments and everything to say, we're better than you because we do this every single day. The irony for those that are actively managing a portfolio versus when you compare how professionals do it, financial advisors, money managers, active mutual funds, they cannot, over a long period of time, over a 10-year period, well over 95% of these active managers fail to beat the index. Think about that for a second. If you can't do it, and professionals can't do it, if they cannot outbeat the index, why are people trying to do it? It's insane to think that you are putting your trust in somebody that nobody has proven they can do on a long-term basis, which is two things. Number one, buy and sell, know when to buy and know when to sell. That means to sell when things are high and buy when things are at all-time lows. And nobody can guarantee those two things. And number two, choosing individual stock on a consistent basis. Hey, Tesla was great, right? Look at the 1,000% return. So you buy it at 1,100, now it's at 700. You know what I mean? You just lost 30% plus in just a short period of time. So nobody can do this on a consistent basis. It just hasn't been proven. You may get one or two right, but I've had many. And academics say you have to get 5 to 10 wrong to get 1 to 2 right. So is it really worth it? Because the average ends up being that same market-like return of 5 to 10%. So if professionals can't do it, if active managers can't do it, if you obviously can't do it, how could you do it if they can't? Don't trick yourself to say you've done great when the reality is you really haven't. You're just, you made it 200% on your money, but over 25 years. You get what I'm saying? And you take that over all your accounts. Yeah, you doubled your money, great, but that was since your purchase of 2001. You know what I mean? You should be doubling your money every 7 to 10 years, assuming you get a 7 to 10% rate of return on your money. That's how you should be investing. That's how it should be working. And are you doing that over long periods of time? I'm telling you, you don't have to be a master investor to get this right. And I'll prove it to you. Because 95% of active managers cannot beat the index, have you ever thought about just joining the index? I mean, why do you need all this hoo-ha? These expensive hedge fund managers, these expensive private equity companies, these expensive different ways of investing your money through active managers and portfolio managers and investment advisors. I mean, I'm a financial planner here telling you the value of finding someone that can manage the money better than you could be a fallacy if they're trying to time the markets and be active with your accounts. That's crazy. Yet again, they can't even beat the index. Who's to say that just one person can do it? Because if that's the case, why would they do it for you? Why wouldn't they just do it for themselves? This is how it makes sense, is if they're providing value to you. What value are these individuals providing? By the way, folks, if you're just joining us, you're listening to Gabriel Shahin, Certified Financial Planner, and your host of More Knowledge, More Wealth here every weekend, talking about all important topics of personal finance. And today we are talking about just the value of these markets and all the crazy stuff that's going on. And you could be amazing at this. You could be somebody that's a finance professor, which we got a lot of clients that have their PhDs. They teach economics and finance. But you are not doing this on a daily basis looking at the accounts. And then you have to think, do you even need to? As I was saying earlier, by being in an index that tracks it, truly direct index, this could make the most sense for you. So then you have to ask yourself, why do I need a professional then? Let me just buy the Vanguard Total Stock Market Fund. Yeah, I get what you're saying. And listen, for a few of you, that may make sense. It makes sense until you get to a certain dollar amount. I recommend if you're starting off, whether you're saving $100 a month, $500, $1,000 a month, or hell, $10,000 plus a month, I do recommend just going into one of those indexes, especially if it's for long-term investing, like the S&P 500 or the one I gave you earlier. The point I'm sharing with you, of course, is when you start having north of, let's say, $100,000, that's where the more money, more problems come in. Or if you start making over $100,000 a year, this could make sense because of your tax bracket, because it's not just what to invest in, but where to invest it. Depending on your income, you have to factor things like capital gains tax, qualified dividends tax, ordinary dividend tax, normal interest tax, municipal interest as well. And if it's subject to the states, these are things that can affect your total return net of taxes. This is where it makes sense to talk to a professional that can relate these investments, these specific key qualities to invest to your situation. I see people doing it on their own all the time, and sometimes it just doesn't make sense. I'll have a simple question for you. How is your account titled? How is it? Is it in just your name? Is it joints? Is it joints with rights to survivorship, with entirety, tenants in common, community property? You get what I'm saying? It matters how it's titled, especially if it's with a parent, a child, a spouse, a significant other. There could be intentional ways you want to do certain things, but my point is, how do you know this? You're not supposed to know this. This is why more money, more problems, depending on your situation and your income. That's where it makes sense to talk to a professional. Folks, there is no obligation to these type of conversations. We're offering 1 to 2 meetings, 1 to 2 hours of our time at no cost. All you have to do is pick up the phone and give us a call at 855-963-2526. That's 855-96-FALCON, like the bird. Or visit our website at falconwealthplanning.com. That's falconwp.com for short. We can help answer those questions. Take a look at what you're doing and telling you. Listen, I'm telling you indexes could make sense for a majority of you. That's what I'm telling you. But it's what indexes to get, because we only spoke about one, really, if you think about it. Then where to invest it. And when I say that, you have a brokerage account, a liquid brokerage account. We just talked about the titling of it, so that can be complex just with that alone. Number 2 is a tax-deferred account. That's a retirement account. Well, that's an IRA. Well, there could be income limitations to that. There could be 401ks, or there could be access restrictions to that. There could be 457, 403B, SEP if you're self-employed, or solo 401k. Then you have the Roth account. There's a regular Roth IRA. Well, depending on your income, you can't put in there. You might have to go a backdoor route. You could, if you're self-employed, you could do a solo Roth 401k potentially, depending on your situation. And lastly, if your employer offers a Roth feature, maybe you could take advantage of it there. But depending on your situation, depending on your goals, that's where you determines what makes the most sense for you. And I don't blame you if something as simple as investing in an index fund is something you want to execute and you want to do on your own. But my goodness, some of these decisions can be irrevocable. I've seen a situation where somebody put their money into a mutual fund, a large cap, S&P 500 type mutual fund, and that's paid tens of thousands of unnecessary tax. And they had to pay capital gains tax on that. And all they really started with was $100 a month. But you extrapolate that out over 20, 30 plus years, becomes a substantial asset. This person had well over 7 figures. And now to take that money out would have to pay a ridiculous amount in capital gains tax, not including all the taxes they paid on the capital gains that they had from the mutual fund, just kicking it out without them even knowing, plus the interest, plus the ordinary and qualified dividends. These are the things that you have to take a look at too. Versus if it was just put into, for example, a Roth IRA, no taxes at all. Take the whole thing out, depending on your age, and you pay 0 taxes for you and your heirs forever. Yet again, it depends. If you're saving for a house, it may not make sense. But then again, how much do you need to take out of that savings? When do you need it? When are you going to purchase it? Because you could potentially take it out penalty free, depending on the situation. This is why there is no substitute, depending on your income situation and your asset situation, of talking to a professional that does this daily. No matter how great you are, have you done this tens of thousands of times? Right? Have you done this thousands of times on an annual basis? Even if you did this before, even if you're an old stock broker, there are so many old financial professionals that hire other professionals to do it. I'm going to go over more examples for you of what makes sense for you. But if you need help, give us a call. Our phone number, 855-963-2526. That's 855-96-FALCON, like the bird. Stay with us. We're going to have a few words. We'll be right back shortly. Welcome back, folks. This is Gabriel Shahin, Certified Financial Planner, and your host of More Knowledge, More Wealth here on every weekend, talking about all important topics of personal finance. And today we are discussing just how simple it is to invest. But reality is of the complication that could arise from it. So we are going to discuss today other forms of complications with the account. We talked about just the registration of the account. We talked about where to invest the money. Do you invest it in tax deferred, into a Roth, into a brokerage account? These are items that could be very important for you to discuss of what makes sense for you. I talked about people who have finance degrees or people that even teach this stuff. Or just simply, you were in the industry before. And I was talking about how even people that were in the industry, even professionals that are doing it, it's crazy how this works, is they're smart enough to realize they can't do it themselves or on a daily basis in an efficient manner. Now, the question you should be asking yourself is, define efficient. What do you mean by efficient? It's such a vague term. It sounds really good. How does that affect me? The efficiency, as we discussed, could be the titling of the accounts. Number 1. Number 2, where you invest the money. Number 3, playing the game of, depending on your tax situation, where to invest it. Do you get the tax write-off today, or do you put it into a Roth to forfeit that? That's why when you start making over $100,000 or have $100,000 in assets, it's very important to analyze those options, because you could also be looking at maximizing retirement accounts at work or whatever qualified accounts that they offer you. This could be important depending on your situation and your goals that you have. This is why we continually say there is no substitute to talking to a professional. Yet again, we have professionals that used to do this, that hire professionals, that hire us to do it on their behalf, because they know this is cumbersome. They know this is nervous. They know that there are new things, new tax laws, new situations, new investments, new strategies that you could be taking advantage of. Heck, These just changed in 2020, changed again in 2018, changed again in 2017, changed again in 2013, changed again in 2010, changed again in 2009, changed again in 2008, changed again in 2004, changed again in 2002, changed again in 2001 and 2000. You get what I'm saying? What is that? 12 times out of the past 20 years? You get what I'm saying? This is overwhelming. Talk to a professional. If nothing else, get a free financial assessment. And that's why we're offering 1 to 2 hours, 1 to 2 meetings of our time at no cost. We will be able to tell you what you have and what you should be doing. If you decide to work with us or not, that's up to you. Always say spread the good word of what we do. We grow ridiculously off referrals, folks, and we'll tell you what it looks like to work with us. But there's a no obligation 1 to 2 hour, 1 to 2 meeting process that we're more than happy to help you with. Folks, give us a call. We help people all across the country. Our phone number is 855-963-2526. That's 855-96-FALCON, like the bird. Or you can visit our website at falconwealthplanning.com. That's falconwp.com for short. And you want to make sure who you're getting the advice from, because if you're getting your advice from an insurance agent, they're going to try to sell you on some index universal life insurance policy and claim that it's tax-free for you, which is ridiculous. Yeah, it's tax-free, but can you go ahead and die for me first, please? You get what I'm saying? It's crazy when people talk like that. So that's number one. Number two, if you talk to a stockbroker, they're going to try to sell you crap. Excuse me for saying. Listen, there's some good ones out there, and I apologize for saying that. But the point is they're commission-based. Okay, so you're always going to have to worry about the conflicts of interest. It's reality. I'm sorry. There's no other way to say it. So you have to be able to look out for that. Also, if they don't have the designations, if they don't have the credentials, if they don't have the experience to be able to give you, for example, tax advice, then what value are they really giving you? Just what to do with your money? How are they supposed to tell you where to save your investments? What should count if they don't even understand your full tax situation? They can't just ask you the question how much you make, because what if there's other assets? What if you're married? What if there is rental income? What if you're self-employed? You see, there is more to this industry than just managing your money. Falcon Wealth, ironically, the company I work for, has a saying and has a trademark of planning made simple. Kind of funny if you think about it. It's planning made simple, but the irony is there's really nothing simple about this. It's as complex as you want to make it, but if you want to do it right, and if you have assets, if you have money, this is why people hire attorneys. This is why people have accountants. This is why people have financial professionals. This is where we would like to help. This is where we can add value. By the way, folks, if you're just joining us, you're listening to Gabriel Shahin, Certified Financial Planner, and your host, More Knowledge, More Wealth, here every weekend talking about all 4 topics of personal finance. And today we're talking about your overall assets and net worth and your situation. And I make the comment saying, more money, more problems. Now, it's not my comment. We've heard that a lot, but I'm here sharing with you ideas throughout this episode of examples of that. We talked about registration. We talked about taxes. We talked about your situation, liquidity. These are all important factors of when it makes sense for you, of when you may need to seek a professional. Because if you plan in advance, you could be avoiding penalties. If you plan in advance, you could be avoiding taxes, legally avoiding taxes, not those weird games that you hear people that get caught up and thrown in jail with the IRS. We're talking about legitimate strategies available. But some of these need 2 years plus planning. Some of them needs 5 years plus planning. And if you're looking to retire in the next 3 to 5 years, people say, well, I'm not ready. Well, now could be the best time to do it. It could be something as simple if you're looking to acquire another company. There could be a better and cheaper way to do it. So there could be other strategies that you could sell, other entities to put into another entity and pay no taxes on that either. There's just no shortage of opportunities, and God bless our tax laws for giving us all of these different ways to help people like you save money. Our tax code is thousands of pages long. There is tens of thousands of codes that could help you. We're not here to say we're going to help you evade taxes. No, no, no. You know, that's a different type of retirement plan if you know what I'm talking about. We're here to say there are different tax strategies to help you avoid taxes. And all these are legitimate. Very simple. There's no tricks around it. There's just strategy. And some of it requires planning. Could take 2 years planning with something like real estate. It could take 5 to 10 years of planning for something like taking money out of your tax deferred retirement account. It could take maybe another 3 to 5 years for liquidation of your business or to get a higher valuation for it. There is multiple different things that are out there. All I'm suggesting is we started this conversation talking about an index account, an index fund that you can get cheap as anything or almost free if you hear what I'm saying. But it's where do you invest it and how do you invest it and what type of liquidity do you need? I love everything liquid always. That's what I recommend. You do. There's a lot of people say, oh, you want an index account? Call me and I'll get you this index account. They're going to sell you life insurance, folks. Be careful. You could get a bullseye on your back if you buy something like that. It's insanity. I do not recommend it. Please do not do that. And if you are going to talk to anybody, make sure you get a second opinion, whether you want to talk to us or any one of our colleagues, or just get a second opinion of somebody that you're about to sign the dotted line on. Folks, we are a fee only, non-commission, true fiduciary. What's the difference between a fiduciary and a true fiduciary? 100% of the time, we have to do what's in your best interest. Versus somebody who's fee-based, not fee only like us, but fee-based that don't always have to do what's in your best interest. They make commissions on it. And unfortunately, there could be conflicts of interest. They disclose them to you, but do you really want to be put in that situation? Because I'm telling you, there are alternatives that don't charge those high fees. You just have to look for them. And because they have more money than firms like us that are fee only, why? Because we're not commissioned. They can make up to 10 to 20 times more than us. I mean, we joke to ourselves, say, man, we're the idiots over here, not taking commission. But we also sleep well at night because of it. Give us a call. We'd be happy to help. Our phone number is 855-963-2526. That's 855-96-FALCON, like the bird. Or visit our website at falconwealthplanning.com. That's Falcon, WP.com for short. We can help put an assessment together, yet again, to relate this show to your specific situation. Come with those questions that you have. Come prepared to share with that information because that information can help get a customized plan for you. And we are giving that assessment. We help people all across the country. We'll tell you exactly what you need to do. We're not going to charge for it. The only reason we'll charge is if you want us to do it on your behalf. That's when we'll charge you. And we'll implement it on your behalf. But we are offering that 1 to 2 meetings, 1 to 2 hours at no cost. And think about this. We're not going to say, wow, we found like 15 things, and we're not going to tell you what they are, tell you how to rest. No, we will tell you. Talk to the thousands of people that we've discussed. Go look at our Google reviews and all the positive reviews that we received there. We will be able, and you'll be able to see all the positive feedback we have and the impact we've helped on multiple people. Yet again, our phone number is 855-963-2526. That's 855-96-FALCON, like the bird. I want you to take a moment to just analyze your situation and see, based on what you have, do you feel there could be opportunities that you could have taken advantage of in the past and what you could be taking advantage of now? And then you got to think, if the answer is yes, what could there be in the future? This is why we would like to help, because it's not just where you are today, but because we've seen where you are today and yesterday, we know where you will be going. So those opportunities that will be coming up, we could share those with you now. So you can start planning now. That could save you tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars throughout your life. Give us a call. We would love to help. Our phone number is 855-963-2526. That's 855-96-FALCON, like the bird. We can help put that together for you, folks. Would be happy to. Like I said, we got offices all across the country, and we do help via anywhere as well, in person, if you would like to do that as well. So please take that into consideration. Folks, that was a fast show. Always a lot to talk about with you guys. I mean, as you can see, anything that involves a dollar sign could be complicated. If it was easy, everybody would do it, and everybody would be rich. And we don't just help those with money. We help those who want to become rich become financially independent. Folks, we want to thank you for tuning with us this weekend. You can always reach out to myself or any one of our colleagues at 855-963-2526. That's 855-96-FALCON. Thank you for joining the show. Enjoy your weekend. Have a great week, and God bless.